What if God hates beauty? Look at a sunset. Really look. The way the light spills across the clouds, the colors shifting, blending, dissolving. It's breathtaking, isn't it? People write poems about it. They paint it. They spend hours just watching it, feeling a sense of peace, of wonder. We've built religions, created art, devoted our lives to seeking out and appreciating things that are beautiful. We think it's a good thing, a sign of God's grace, His favor. But what if that's not the whole story? What if God, in His infinite wisdom, actually hates beauty? It seems strange, doesn't it? A God who would create something so fragile, so fleeting, so utterly dependent on chance. Think about a snowflake. Millions of intricate patterns, perfectly formed, existing for just a moment before melting away. Or a field of wildflowers, bursting with color in the spring, then fading, returning to the earth. These moments of exquisite detail, of perfect form, they seem wasteful. They're beautiful, undeniably, but they're also temporary. And if God is all-powerful, all-knowing, all-good, why would He create something inherently destined to disappear? The Roman Empire, for example, spent vast amounts of resources building magnificent temples, statues, and palaces. They believed these things reflected God's glory, demonstrated their devotion. But the empire crumbled, and those monuments, those symbols of beauty and power, were eventually destroyed, looted, or simply fell into ruin. It's a stark reminder that beauty, like everything else, is subject to decay. Consider the story of King Herod the Great. He was obsessed with building a magnificent city, Caesarea Maritima, on the Mediterranean coast. He wanted it to rival Rome, a testament to his power and his devotion to God. He commissioned enormous buildings, lavish gardens, and elaborate decorations. He filled the city with statues of himself, portraying himself as a divine ruler. But his obsession with beauty, his desire to create a lasting legacy, led him to commit terrible acts, murder, betrayal, and madness. He killed his own wife and several of his sons, all to secure his throne and to maintain the illusion of his own greatness. It's a classic example of how the pursuit of beauty, when taken to an extreme, can corrupt the soul. The ancient Greeks had a similar concept: hubris, excessive pride or arrogance. They believed that striving for perfection, for beauty, was a noble goal, but it could also lead to downfall. Think about Icarus, who flew too close to the sun with wings made of wax and feathers. He was trying to achieve something extraordinary, something beautiful, but he was blinded by his ambition and his desire to defy the natural order. Let's look at human nature. We are drawn to beauty. It's a fundamental part of what makes us human. We crave it. We seek it out. We create it. But why? Is it simply a matter of pleasure, of satisfaction? Or is there something deeper at play? Perhaps our attraction to beauty is a reflection of our own desire for immortality, for a lasting legacy. We build monuments, write poems, create art, in an attempt to cheat death, to leave something behind that will endure long after we're gone. But beauty, by its very nature, is transient. It fades, it changes, it disappears. This inherent impermanence can be unsettling. It's a reminder of our own mortality, of the fact that everything we create, everything we cherish, will eventually be lost. The Renaissance, a period of incredible artistic and intellectual achievement, was also a time of profound anxiety about death and the passage of time. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo spent their lives trying to capture beauty on canvas and in stone, but they knew that their work would eventually crumble, that their own lives would come to an end. Consider the concept of sin as a human response to beauty. The Bible tells us that Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, driven by their desire for forbidden knowledge, for beauty. They wanted to understand God's intentions, to grasp the full extent of His creation. But this knowledge came at a price. It led to shame, guilt, and ultimately, to the fall of humanity. Perhaps, in a way, the desire for beauty is a form of rebellion against God's original design. We want to impose our own standards of beauty on the world, to shape it to our liking. But God's beauty is beyond our comprehension, beyond our ability to fully appreciate. It's like trying to capture a rainbow in a jar. The moment you try to contain it, it disappears. The story of Cain and Abel illustrates this tension beautifully. Cain envied Abel's prosperity and his acceptance by God. He felt that Abel was somehow better than him, that he possessed a beauty or a grace that Cain lacked. This envy led to jealousy, rage, and ultimately, to murder. Think about the phenomenon of envy. It's a powerful emotion, often triggered by beauty. We envy the beauty of others, their success, their happiness. We compare ourselves to them, and we feel inadequate. This envy can lead to resentment, bitterness, and even violence. It's a primal instinct, rooted in our biological makeup. But is it a natural or a sin? Perhaps it's a consequence of recognizing beauty, of acknowledging a standard that we cannot attain. The act of appreciating something beautiful can simultaneously elevate us and make us feel inferior. The French philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau explored this idea in his writings on aesthetics. He argued that the experience of beauty can awaken a sense of longing, a desire for something that is beyond our reach. This longing can be both painful and exhilarating. It can drive us to create, to strive, to improve ourselves, but it can also lead to disappointment and despair. Let's look at a different kind of beauty, the beauty of suffering. There are moments in life, moments of profound pain and hardship, that can actually be beautiful. The way a soldier faces death with courage, the way a parent grieves the loss of a child, the way a person overcomes a terrible illness, these moments can be filled with a strange and terrible beauty. It's a beauty born of resilience, of strength, of love. This concept challenges our conventional understanding of beauty. We typically associate beauty with pleasure, with harmony, with perfection. But suffering can reveal a deeper, more profound kind of beauty, the beauty of the human spirit. The stark landscapes of the Scottish Highlands, for example, are often described as beautiful, not because they are idyllic or peaceful, but because they are wild, untamed, and imposing. They evoke a sense of awe and respect, a recognition of the power of nature. So if God hates beauty, what is he really after? Perhaps he's not interested in our fleeting attempts to capture it. Perhaps he wants us to grapple with its impermanence, its fragility, its inherent incompleteness. Maybe the true test of our faith isn't in admiring a sunset, or creating a masterpiece, but in confronting the uncomfortable truths that beauty reveals. The fact that all beautiful things eventually fade. The fact that our own lives are finite. The fact that we are all, ultimately, subject to the same forces of decay and destruction. It's a difficult truth to accept, but it's a truth that can lead to a deeper, more authentic understanding of ourselves and of the world around us. Consider the words of the poet William Wordsworth: "The world is too much with us, late and soon / getting and spending, we lay waste / our house for naught." Perhaps the true beauty lies not in what we create, but in the act of letting go. Ultimately, the question remains, if God does hate beauty, is that a rejection of creation, or a profound invitation to embrace the bittersweet truth of existence?